Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome to this episode of A Woman's Prerogative, January 26, 2026, actually. So this episode today is how meditation can calm every situation, the way the human mind responds to meditating state. So I am Reverend Lydia Fougere. I have a master's in metaphysics. I am a registered nurse and a holistic nurse. I'm a speaker, an elevated listener, and world-known author of the series 111 Reflection for Thy Earth Odyssey. I am also a spiritual teacher. Who works on personal transformation. I worked on introspection, mindfulness, and compassionate self-discovery of your person. I invite my readers to engage in life through curiosity, clarity, and sense of sacred connection through my programs. You can contact me at 1-514-582-6882. I am also the inventor of the Miracle Mist, which is a spray that purifies and elevates vibrations, and country manager for USA Global TV for Canada and French country. This is the Miracle Mist that you can actually have on Etsy. So I will introduce my beautiful friend, the Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, who is the producer, and also she is the one that started this channel. So we owe everything to Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. So she is Ambassador for Peace. She was awarded the Silver Creator YouTube Award in 2025. She teaches elevated listening and is an Amazon #1 best-selling author. So here we have Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck.
Hello and welcome. Thank you, Reverend Lydia. Welcome to our audience in E360 TV. It's great to be here today.
Yes, it is great to be there. So how have you been?
I'm doing really well. As you know, we celebrated our 4th anniversary yesterday, 4 years in business, which any business owner knows is a milestone. And I appreciate you being here for the show and sharing what it is that you're doing. And for people who don't know, you just did a show right before this one in French, and next week it'll be in English.
Yes, it is. But we know that you do 7 shows consecutive all the time. So you are also an extremely busy person, and you produce pretty much all the shows. So let us think that you are the brain behind the scenes. So we have to think about that. And you write books, you are an elevated listener, you are a mentor to all of us. So we are really grateful to have you. It is extremely fun to have you because we learn a lot from you, actually, we have to admit. So, and you are in the cold also in New Jersey.
Absolutely. And of course, I learn a lot from you and from our other team members. And it's definitely colder where you are than where I am. So I'm grateful that people always have a situation that's worse. And there are people who have a situation worse than where you're living with that temperature as well, I'm sure.
Exactly. We have Arctic temperatures in Canada, so I do not complain about my temperatures. So that is it. So today we have a conversation on meditation. You are a meditation teacher. I know that. So could you start with the subject? I would really like to hear about the meditation techniques that you teach and how you do it. It's very interesting.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So I'll just share with you that during the pandemic, I was looking for some things to do because I'm always like you, a lifelong learner. And I came across meditation, and I thought that was actually a good thing to actually take on, especially during a pandemic. And I researched a bunch of places, and I ended up going with The Path, which is owned by Dina Kaplan in New York. And I think we do have a website. Let me just check. We have a link. And it was such an interesting experience because it was virtual, but she brought in some people who also practice meditation, but they're business owners. And so they were sharing how they're using meditation in what it is that they're doing. And some of the people had the most fascinating stories because there were people who had been injured, people who were sick, and there were also people who took their business to 7 and 8 figures. And they used meditation to calm themselves and for them to actually be able to have the clarity that they needed to be able to do what it is they were doing. So what I did was I was just meditating for myself. And then later on, I started teaching meditation, and I was a meditation mentor. And today I just use it personally. So I'm not actually available for hire for meditation, but I like sound meditation. I was like walking meditation, which we can't be doing right now, but you can, though. You're out there not only walking in snowshoes, it's amazing.
Yes, and I love it. I actually love it. So that is it. Well, I do actually use meditation also. I have had several kinds of meditation. I use several kinds of meditation. I started meditating. It is really a strange way that I started meditating. I was something like 6 years old, and my father was a strange man. That is the understatement. So my father told me to observe a blade of grass. So I was on my stomach observing a blade of grass, and my father told me not to stop looking at the blade of grass before he came back. So he came back something like 3 hours later, and I was still there since I was a very obedient child. So I was still there observing the blade of grass. So my father said, "And now you will tell me what happened to the blade of grass." I said, "Dad, it grew." He said, "All that light and it grew." So my father was extremely proud of me, and he said, "From now on, you will start observing, and that will be something to go on and repeat." So that was my first experience with meditation. So that is the way it happened.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I remember in this program for The Path that we actually had it was like a one sheet, and you would just write down how long you were able to meditate. So at first we were supposed to meditate for a minute, and that seemed like forever. We were going to work our way all the way up to an hour. And it seemed like in the beginning, there was no way that was going to happen, but it actually did. And by the way, we don't normally do this, but we're going to take a break for a question that we have. And I think we need a little further explanation from this person. I have a question about when you project. Why is it that when I think you mean when I'm asked to project, it doesn't freaking work, right? Like I don't get consciousness when I'm projecting. I just feel like I'm in a dream instead. And that's from Jacob Pennington BK4XX. So, Reverend, would you like to take a shot at this? It sounds like the person is trying to understand how to project yourself into the meditative state, because this person, it seems like they feel like they're in a dream. So what would you share about being in a dream versus meditation? Are they mutually exclusive, or could they be together?
They could be together. That is it. But the thing is that if they feel they're in a dream, they're in a thought. If they feel that if they're dreaming, actually, they are thinking. The important thing is to observe. So you observe what is going on, and when you will reach a point where you actually have reached awareness, because that is what we are trying to reach, awareness. So the point of awareness is called the point of enlightenment. So you're trying to reach that point. And as long as you have not reached a point where there's absolute emptiness, which is actually not really emptiness because it is light, you have light inside you. So as long as you have not reached that point, you still have ideas. So the thing is that it takes years to reach that point. So the thing is that I tell that person that it is not a dream. They are getting there. They are just stumbling into ideas. And the more they meditate, the better they will be at it, because they will have that, I call that breakthrough. All of a sudden, they will think they can't go further, and all of a sudden it will be like a wall that breaks, and then they will reach that path where they actually see that light, and it will be their haha moment. So I tell that person, do not give up, because you are very close to that aha moment. Since you are still living like in a dream, you are aware, you are still in consciousness, but you will reach that aha moment very soon. I feel it actually, because I'm a medium. I have to admit, that I'm reaching out to you. So you will reach that aha moment very soon. Do not stop. You're really on the right track.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And we have a follow-up comment, and then we'll get back to our show. We love when we hear from our guests. So a follow from Jacob Pennington. Dolores Cannon has helped me with a lot of things. I've cleaned my room because of her. And I've also learned that some souls stay independent. What are your thoughts?
Well, some souls, yes. Some souls who stay independent because they want to be independent. Some souls decide that they want to be on their own. And it is fine. And we do not have to ask them to join because they do not want to join. But I do know that the previous person is not an independent soul. So Dolores Cannon is right about having independent souls, but there is not many of those independent souls. You do not see that very frequently. Yeah, I would say it is quite rare, actually. So that is pretty much what it is about, independent souls.
That's great. Thank you, Jacob Pennington. So, Reverend, you and I were talking backstage about the fact that many times we're in a meditative state doing things that we might normally do. Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, because we're still aware of what we are doing. Let us say someone is fishing. Someone is fishing. They are doing a repetitive movement, but at the same time, they are in a meditative state, actually. So that is what happens. Fishing, gardening, walking, praying, those are all meditative states. And people do not understand that that is still meditation, even if they always think that meditation is the only solution, is like staying there cross-legged, but that is not the way. Meditation has numerous ways so to reach enlightenment. You have many ways to reach enlightenment, and that is it. So you can be aware of what you are doing. But the thing is that your state of awareness is so high that actually you are hyper vigilant when you are doing something. You will see, let us say you're fishing, you will see that your reflexes are so fast because you are in that state of self-awareness.
I have a question for you, and I really love the way you explained that. So I find that when I'm doing admin type work for the network, that I go into, I feel like it's a trance. And there's so many little details of things that I have to do. And I almost just, I feel like I'm not even there doing it. I'm on the computer doing this, doing that. Like I have to upload files, download files, label files, move files. And I feel like I'm in a trance and I get so much done. It's unbelievable. Do you think this is a meditative state, or do you think I'm just acting sort of on autopilot?
No, it's a kind of trance that you are doing. Actually, it's an upload. You are getting downloads from the upper side. So you are actually having downloads to help you doing your duties. This is the way that we get downloads. Just like I have downloads for informations, whatever, like I have downloads from information from the divine source when actually someone talks to me, like that person that just talked to me. I have downloads. It is the same thing. When you are doing some kind of work, you have downloads. That is why it goes so fast, it goes so well, and you have such good ideas because you are downloading information. That is the way it works.
Thanks so much for clarifying that. We do have a follow-up comment from our new friend. Hopefully you're going to subscribe to our channel. We would love that. I think this is a good comment from Jacob Pennington. I was going to say everyone blames the devil for their problems, but they never actually blame themselves for their own issues. Wow. That's really thought-provocative. What do you think, Reverend?
Well, I think he is right. I think he is absolutely right. Because the thing is that people actually, they do you remember in school we used to do something when we were child and we would say, oh, the devil made me do it. Well, it stays with the adult that they say, oh, it's the devil, the cause is the devil. No, it's not the devil, it's bad decisions. I always say there's no bad person, there's only bad decisions. So so that is the way it is. There's no devil thinking about that. I do not say there is not evil. Don't get me wrong. I do not say evil does not exist. I say that people have issues and they refuse to work on their issues, and that is why they get into all kinds of troubles. So that is really important to face your responsibilities when you are in the wrong. You just admit you're in the wrong and you change your focus and you start over again. And you just admit and move on. That is all. No blaming game.
I'm kind of shaking my head here because I'm a big fan of Law and Order and shows like that. I don't really watch them that much anymore, but a legal excuse would be the devil made me do it. People would use that as a defense. And so that's a statement that's been around for a long time and I actually forgot about. So thank you to our viewer for bringing that up and for you for elaborating.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for our viewer. Very, very interesting as question. That was very, very nice. So that is it. So we were talking about meditation. So we were actually talking about why we meditate. Well, we meditate because we want to reach hyper consciousness. So we want to be into boundaries between self and world blur. So the thing is that that state, we call it enlightenment. That is a state where everything is more than beautiful, amazing. The happiness we feel when we are in that state, there is no description because there is no happiness on earth that exists. You cannot make someone as happy as when you're enlightened. There is no happiness because the thing is that it is not an object that makes you happy. It is just being in synchronicity with the divine source or whatever you want to call it. So it is that way when you have reached enlightenment, you are in this happiness that people cannot understand. They cannot unless they live it. So I would say you can use 1,000 words, but it's it's a moment of mighty presence. You are in some kind of mighty presence. Ever since I was young, actually, I have this light that I see that others do not see that comes upon me when I need it to help heal someone. That light, I plunge in that light. And when I meditate, I still plunge in that light. And it is a light that brings so much that, it is quite impossible to describe. And when I reach that light, when I am into that light, I slip into the theta wave. It is, a very high wave. It is, you remember there was the Twilight Zone? Well, it was pretty much the Twilight Zone. So that is where it is. So when I go into a state where I am healing someone, I go into that twilight zone to help that person and go into other dimensions because that's from that mind state that we actually can travel into dimensions. So that is the way it happens. But the people that actually are working their way will start by being in a beta wave, then they will go into an alpha wave. So it takes sometimes several years to be able to reach all those waves, to actually be able to go through the whole thing. So the thing is that, not to get discouraged because then, you are into the delta. The delta is a sleepless, dreamless state where you actually can accomplish things. You can change your entire life in that state. So it is an awaking state, which is there is nothing that exists into that wave. So you go there and you change your destiny in that wave. or change the destiny of others in that wave. You slow down, you help, your breathing is slow, your cardiac pace is really, for me, it goes down in the 40s, and it is there that actually I am able to help people to heal. I have to reach that stage. So that is why I meditate so much. I meditate not only to help myself, I meditate to help others. And the thing is that, when we meditate, we actually send energy to the entire planet. So every time we meditate for the love of the entire planet. We have to remember that. Once we meditate for the universe.
Thank you, Reverend. I do want to just ask you if you're open to another question from Jacob Pennington. It's more of a question for an empath.
No problem.
Okay. Is it possible my obsession with the name Nora could have been to a past life? Because if it is, it isn't, it's an alternate me. I'm going to come back as a girl named Nora.
No, it's a past life. Yeah, it's a past life. That Nora is someone that came in his past life. Actually, Nora in the past life is someone. I see, what I see actually is those pioneer things. I see your pioneer wagon. I see horses, long hair, long dress, long hair, long dress. I see grains also. I see bags of grain. Nora is seated in the front with that long dress. She's seated in the front, and there's someone next to her holding the reins of a horse. That is Nora. Nora is there. That is where Nora is. So I hear 1847. 1847. That is what I hear. So that is, there are 3 children in the wagon. Nora is sitting there. Nora has something to do with you. I do not know if she is your wife, but she is sitting next to you. So that is why you remember Nora. Because she was there with you. 1847. She was there with you. Yes.
Thank you, Reverend. Thank you for that on-air reading. And thank you, Jacob, for the question. Wow. Yeah, you were in another world there. That was pretty cool to watch. So thank you for the question. Thank you for being open to that reading. I guess you call it a reading, don't you?
Yes, but I usually do not do readings like that. It just, okay.
So now let's talk about the fact, okay, you just had kind of an unexpected situation arise, which we can handle with stress, no stress, anxiety, whatever it is. So now, would this have been a good time for you to start meditating if you were not on the air? Is that something you might do now?
Well, usually, I can go on and on with those states because I can switch from one to the other to the other to the other. I can go from, I can do like 10 people, one after the other to find whatever happens to them. So I've done that my entire life. So I am used to that. I am used to go from one subject to the other subject to the other subject. I am used to send messages from people that actually want to send a message to someone. But the thing is that when I actually do a reading for someone, what I do is that I do not allow them to ask a question to the deceased. Because the thing is that when the deceased actually comes to explain something, comes to tell something, they actually will tell the person something they want to do, from something they want them to have as information for them to actually move forward with their life. So it is not something where you start a Q&A with a spirit. So I do not allow Q&A with spirits because the thing is that the spirit does not stay for a long time. So it is not time for Q&A. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I understand. So if someone reaches out to you and they want to work with you, then the spirit is the one who is guiding the direction of the conversation as opposed to asking questions.
Exactly, because the spirit comes for a little while. I never know how long the spirit will stay. And I never know what the spirit is going to say to the person. And I have to explain a situation, and you will understand my reality. Okay. There is once a person that, that's something like 15 or 20 years ago. There's a woman that asked to see her father, and she was with me, and the father came through me. So sometimes the person speaks like the deceased and acts like the deceased. So the person was so sure that it was her father. Well, it was her father, actually, but the thing is that it was my body. And my responsibility is to protect my body. So I stay aside. I'm still there, but I'm next to my body in another dimension. So the thing is that that lady, the father did not give the inheritance to her. He gave it to her husband. And she was extremely angry with her father. She started screaming at her father. And she was to pounce on me. She was to jump on me because she wanted to attack her father. I just had time to regain my body to protect myself from that, how, from that attack, because she was so angry that, and she did not accept the apologies from her father. So that was quite spectacular. And I have to admit that was quite scary also. So those are situations where we can be in trouble with people that cannot control their emotions. So that is why now what I do is that I do not let people ask questions, especially about inheritance, things like that. I do not let people talk about money with deceased people. Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you again
Yes.
for we did have a follow-up question. This is the last one we can take. I hope you understand. Okay. Well, I envision, but I'm at the same time, I am the trans person and I would rather be a female.
This is something that only you know. This is only you that knows that. I cannot tell you if you're male or female because this is something that I am a registered nurse after all, you see, and this is a very touchy subject. It is something that I would rather not get into because for you, it is extremely difficult. And I am a person that does not want to mix you up at all. So I will refrain from answering that question, if I may. And thank you for asking the question.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you, and I appreciate Jacob for the question. Wow, we're almost at the end of our show. Can you believe it?
Yes, it went very fast. So that is it. So if anyone wants to, well, now they know that I'm a medium. So if they want to join me, I am at 1-514-582-6882. And I wrote the books 111 Reflection for Thy Earth Odyssey that is sold on Amazon. And they can actually also see me for chakra balancing, and that is it. I can also help them with the healing. If they have a problem, I can help them with the healing. I invite the person that actually had a problem to communicate with me. I I I would listen to that person. It would be important. I would listen to that person. So I will let Dr. Jacalyn explain her books because she gives excellent teachings and her books are amazing. So I will let Dr. Jacalyn do.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you everyone for being here. And just a few shout outs that I have. I do have a new book coming out. It's called Stop Giving Away Your Value, Boundaries, Pricing, and the Business of Respect. And I'm writing this book. I'm still halfway through it because of the fact that as humans, we don't value our worth. And many times we get into a situation where we just give away our knowledge. We might have paid for courses or education or it's experience that we've had growing up, and we just give it all away. And I do believe in giving things away, absolutely, and helping other people. But at some point, if you are in business, you've got to draw the line because otherwise you'll be out of business real fast. And the other thing is that I have a course that goes along with it called Stop Giving Away Your Value. It's a 6-week course, and it's for people in business, and it's also for people who want to set boundaries in their home life as well, because many times we give so much of ourselves that there's nothing left. And before I get to the books, I do want to announce that I have started a nonprofit called USA Global Voices of Humanity Foundation, and that's to give the voiceless across the world a voice, a place for them to share, whether it's at USA Global TV and Radio or somewhere else. So we had our first board meeting and we were filing for our 501c3 for nonprofit status. So stay tuned for that. And as far as my books that I already have, let me bring them up. I currently have over 20 books, and here we go. So this is my latest one, Holy But Harmful, The Silent Sin of Judgment. And you may have seen the commercial on that. And this is not really about religion. It's about how we make comments to people that are kind of just off the cuff, that are really very filled with judgment. So there's also a workbook. And then this is what I call my Bible of books, which is Mastering the Power of Elevated Listening. And that's what I built this entire television network on. Listening without judgment, listening without problem solving, listening without stage hogging, and listening without interruption. Okay, so I don't know what I just did there. And then there's a bunch of other books. There's children's books. This is the first book that I ever wrote, Behind the Green Screen. So you can go over to Amazon and you can find me there. Thank you so much, Reverend.
That was very nice. That was a great show. So thank you very much for us having a nice show again. So thank you and see you next week.
Yes, thank you. I'll let you close out.
So thank you very much for everyone that watched us. So we invite you to subscribe. And Dr. Jacalyn and I are extremely happy that you were watching this episode. So thank you.
Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? In a world quick to judge, one book dares to reveal the hidden cost of silence. Discover Holy but Harmful, The Silent Sin of Judgment, How Hidden Judgments Destroy Relationships and Damage Lives by Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. The Amazon #1 bestseller that's transforming the way we understand ourselves and the way we see others. Pick up the companion workbook to uncover your own hidden judgments and learn how to break free from them. Available now on Amazon and at fine bookstores worldwide.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Tracy Cram Perkins, a dementia caregiving survivor teaching how to balance care with peace of mind. #1 resource for dementia caregivers. It's the book Dementia Home Care: How to Prepare Before, During, and After. Over 17,000 copies sold of this must-have guide. And now a testimonial from Tracy Smith.
If I was to describe this book to someone who is going through a similar situation, I would underscore how important it is to have some sort of a tool or a guidebook to help you through certain stages. And there's so many, it's such an unknown topic to the average person. And to have this as a reference is essential. It's going to help you get through it personally, as well as help your loved one manage.
To learn more, go to TracyCramPerkins.com. Tracy Cram Perkins is an award-winning author. She's also the host of Dementia Home Care television show. Watch it here on USA Global TV and Radio.
Get ready to wear the brand that's changing the world of media. Introducing the official USA Global TV and Radio online store. From our TV show hosts to our incredible global guests, you asked, we delivered. Rep your appearance with pride. Whether you've been on air, hosted a show, or tuned in, we have something just for you. Visit us at usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com and start shopping today. Check back frequently. We're dropping fresh new designs all the time. Showcase your role in our global community. These designs celebrate your voice, your story, your presence. It's more than just merchandise. It's a movement of hope, inspiration, education, and elevated listening. Head to usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com. Your spotlight awaits. USA Global TV and Radio. Elevate your style. Elevate the world.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.